So look, if you want to grow your wealth, your income, and increase the amount of time off, then these are the shortcuts that can help. Welcome to the Wealth Creation Podcast. And welcome everybody, it's Dan. Hope you're well today. So welcome to Marketing Sales Show. My name is Dan Latto, and what we're going to talk about today is driving traffic to your website and about how to do it, basically. And excuse me, just before we start talking about driving traffic to your website, the one thing that you have to absolutely get in place for your website is a conversion mechanism. And what I mean by that is there's no point in driving a ton of website traffic if you've not got the ability to translate that traffic into an actionable thing, such as picking up the phone, filling in a form, downloading a free giveaway, a guide, a PDF, signing up for a training course, buying something. So you've got to have that mechanism in place. And if you've not got that mechanism in place, it kind of doesn't matter about how much traffic you're going to drive to your website, because you could drive 1 million people a day. If there's nothing to convert people, it's not going to work, right? There's nothing to do for the people, right? So you've got to have some form of conversion mechanism. So we're going to go through this in the assumption that you have some sort of conversion mechanism. And if you haven't got a conversion mechanism, like a lead magnet or a form to fill in, then obviously that's something you need to have a think about. So first up then, how to drive more traffic to your website is you've got to have more digital content scheduled in advance. So the content that we have going out, for example, if I just take a look at what we've got going out today. So we've got 5 pieces of content today, plus a live stream. So that's 6. And probably we're going to have a few extra additional pieces. Probably we'll have 6, 7 or 8 pieces of content going out every single day. And you might be like, my goodness me, that is a lot. Let's have a look at tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lined up already for tomorrow. And we'll probably go live at some point tomorrow as well. So that's 8. But this is the level of marketing that you need to be operating at. We're going to talk about running paid ads, by the way, a little bit later on. But for organic content, and the reason why you want to use organic content is it's really good at building credibility and being able to demonstrate a level of expertise in your business. And so you want digital content, and it should be scheduled out in advance. It's not where you sat around trying to think of something to write. Like Sunday nights are really good. And obviously, like, for example, something like this, where we live stream for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then we pull out loads of different short videos that are 1 minute long. You know, off this video, for example, we might pull between 8 and 15 shorter videos, and then we're going to schedule those out as well, because not everybody can listen to the full podcast or the live stream, but they can listen to the little snippets of the important bits. And actually, we know from when we're looking at statistics that actually the views on those go way up compared to our longer live stream type content. However, our podcast content actually does get a decent amount of downloads when we upload an audio file to like iTunes and so on. So that does work, but it's all digital content. It's all scheduled out in advance. And the idea here is that you're going to talk about your subject, you're going to talk about a product, a service, you're going to talk about something that's going to put you into a position that will demonstrate your level of expertise. And for some reason, as always, my monitor decides to go into power save mode whenever I live stream. I don't know why that is. So more digital content scheduled in advance. That's going to set you up as an expert in your industry. It's going to give you loads of credibility. And if you can schedule all of that in advance, you're not always having to think up new things. We like to schedule at least a week in advance if possible. Sometimes we're really good at it. Sometimes we're really not. Sometimes it's cobbler's children has no shoes. We're so busy creating content for all our clients, we forget to do our own stuff. And I'm like, oh no, we need to do it again. So that's why we do it a week at a time. Usually for our clients, we work a month in advance. Like, we want to know, you know, it's the 9th of May today. What have you got going out in June? And they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing today, let alone June. And what happens is that we kind of force them to be more organized in their business, and their business actually does better anyway, simply because they're more organized, because we've had to force them to be more organized for their content. So more digital content, wonderful. Next one then is to send an email. Like, you should have an email list. And if you've not got an email list, you can use something like MailChimp. Don't use MailChimp, it's crap. But use like ActiveCampaign, or use something. If nothing else, use MailChimp, right? It's free, but it's free for a reason, because it's crap. It's 2024. It's pay to play these days, right? If you want to do anything half decent, you have to put some money down. And everyone's trying to do it all on the cheap because it's social media. I don't have to pay. It's like, no. You're not going to get the results. Pay to play. Get yourself a decent email bit of software like ActiveCampaign. Start placing around web forms on your website so people can book strategy sessions, for example, which is what we have on ours, or you can download free guides, and we've got a number of freebies that are available on the website. 52 topics to go live about, for example, and you go live once a week, so you've got 52 weeks worth of content. That's a really good way of doing it. But then once you've got the email address in the email software, you should be emailing them. People have subscribed for a particular reason. They want to hear from you. And it might be that you've just got some advice that you want to give to people. Or it might be you've got a new product that's coming out. Or it might be there's a discount or a sale. Or it's Easter and there's a 24-hour flash sale. You've got all these different things that you can email your client base about. And your email shouldn't just be selling. It should be about building value. Again, building credibility, building your perceived expertise in the marketplace. Showing people how to solve a specific problem works wonders when you're sending an email out to your email list. But, people have subscribed to your email list for a reason. They want to hear from you. And what we find is that most people don't email their list. And they say, I've got 20,000 people on this email list and we mailed them 2 years ago. And it's like, oh my gosh, now those people on the email list have not heard from you. They've forgotten they're on the list. Now they're really cold. Now you have to warm them up again. And it's ridiculous, right? So the way that we actually do it is when you join one of our mailing lists, we've got a set number of emails already lined up, like over 100 emails. It goes out like once every 7 or 11 days. I forget how we do it these days. I think it's one every 11 days that goes out. So you hear from us just under once every 2 weeks. And you're going to hear from us for the next few years if you're subscribed. And that's how we actually do it. We write an email and then we might send it out to the list and then we'll put it to the bottom of the pile so that they go through all these other emails and then we get to this final one and we've got years worth of content that we're emailing out to people. It's so valuable. Email is not dead, that's for sure. Like, it's the first thing that you do on a morning, right? Other than checking your socials, you check your email. It doesn't matter which you're checking first. If it's your socials or if it's email, you're still checking both. You check your WhatsApp, you check your Instagram, you check your Facebook, you check your email. Emails are really, really relevant. And, open rates have gone down. If you're getting 20% open rate, you're doing really well in 2024. 10-12% I would say is about average these days. And yeah, they have gone down. But how many people are watching your Facebook? 1%. So email is more important to some extent than your socials, because people are more likely to open an email, but it's less important because you've only got a smaller mailing list, maybe 1,000 people on your mailing list. You might have 4,000 or 5,000 friends on Facebook or whatever the limit is. You've got 12 or 14,000 connections on LinkedIn. But the quality of those people on your email list, that's what's important. And then the next one then is about optimizing your website for search engine results. And this is really SEO, search engine optimization, that we're talking about. And I know that there's been a massive hit with Google just recently. They've done another update and loads of websites have actually taken a dive. But you know what? It will come good, will that? In a few months' time, that will get better. Creating content, written content and uploading a video and having an external link and understanding on-page SEO as well as off-page SEO. That's really, really important. And it's a slow burn process that if you started 10 years ago on your website, you'd be benefiting from it. But if you haven't done that, start now, because in 6 months, you can benefit from that. In 3 months, you can benefit from that. We've taken a website, with a brand new website with no traffic, and we got it back, inbound links, and we got it content that's being scheduled out. And we've got them ranking on Google page 1, 2, and 3. So it's definitely doable, but it is a slow burn. But why not do it? Every email that you write, you should then take that copy, go to your website, put it on your website, work out what the keyword is supposed to be for that, and then optimize that article for that keyword, add some images, add some outbound links, add some videos, etc. All that stuff is really going to help drive more traffic back to your website. And then just finally on this then is to run some paid adverts. And you can run these adverts on Google or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. We can do all of those, by the way. But usual two are Google and Facebook ads. And I was just reading something coming back from CrossFit this morning, and they don't put out any content. They create a video, which is like an advert, and then they drive that to a webinar, which is a 2-hour webinar. And then they drive traffic to the video through paid ads. So this is what it looks like. They run an advert on Facebook and Google, Facebook usually. They'll then take it to a video that says, hey, if you want to learn how to do whatever, then join my webinar. Then they join the webinar, and then in the webinar, there's a buy this thing for 25 quid or £2,000 or whatever that's going to be for that particular product. And that actually works really well for them. Depends which industry you're in. Now, that's also, by the way, not to say that you shouldn't be having all the content created as well, because the content is going to create credibility. Because one of the first things that people do is when they're looking at Facebook, they go straight to the page and look at the content as well. I certainly do that. And if I'm doing that, I know other people are doing that as well. And if you've got no content, or the content's like 2 years old, it looks a bit scammy, right? So you have to have this digital content that's scheduled in advance. All right. I hope that's useful for you. I hope you get something out of that. If you've got any questions, then obviously please hit me up, and we're here to help. And have a wicked day. Take care. Hey, it's Dan here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Please click like or subscribe to the entire podcast.